Hello. Thank you so much for joining me today. How you guys doing? Walter's World, a small and up and coming YouTube channel. Just kidding. He's a freaking legend on YouTube. Okay? Go check him out. You already know him. Great channel. All sorts of stuff about Europe and travel and stuff. Super fascinating. This is an old one. But I don't think, etiquette doesn't change very often, usually. These are the 6 unwritten rules of European train travel, which I thought would be interesting because I've never even been on a train. Been on a plane. Does a subway count? I don't think so. So I've never been on a train. So I don't know how to act. Hold on.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World, and we're in Luggage, Germany, on an easy 45-minute regional express from Hamburg, UNESCO World Heritage Site City. All the spires and the gates and all the really beautiful...
Why does that tower have an eyeball on it? Some Illuminati type shit going on.
Here, all kinds of great stuff to see. And since we took the train here, there was some kind of rowdy people on the trains and stuff like that. So
Americans for sure.
I thought I'd give you 6 unwritten rules about European train travel, okay? Now, the first unwritten rule about European train travel is be quiet. No one wants to hear your story about how you're
You can tell this is very personal for him right now.
Drinking French champagne in France, and no one wants to hear about your
He wanted to say this to their face.
Bathroom problems or whatever.
I mean, I understand. For the most part, it's true, but honestly, if you're going to be talking out loud to where I can hear you, I do want you to make it about something like your bathroom problems. Something interesting, something embarrassing even. That would be the only thing that would actually be interesting to me.
Keep your... basically, you should be quiet when you're on the train. Now, I'm not saying don't talk. I'm just saying have a respect for the other people on the train, so, use your inside voice. Because
interesting. Okay. People sleep on the train like that? That's how I used to look sleeping in school. That does not look comfortable, I won't lie.
It's amazing. There's always 1 or 2 people that are just want apparently the entire train to know everything they're doing. So that's the first unwritten rule is, you know what? Keep it a little bit more quiet when you're on the train.
It's always fascinating because it's like how... I'm not talking about on a train. I've never been on a train. But in those types of situations, there's those people. And there's plenty of them here in America, as we all know. And it's like they just can't read the room. They don't stop and think for a moment, like, why am I the only one yelling? That should probably never be the case. Unless you've been paid to be there or something. Like, people are paying to hear you yell.
Now, the second unwritten rule about train travel in Europe is you don't take somebody's reserved seat. Now, a lot of trains in
How do you know if it's reserved?
Germany and France will have a sign saying, hey, these seats are reserved. Don't sit there because they're going to show up and then you're going to have to move and take all your stuff. And don't try to
What kind of jackass would do that anyway?
pretend, no hablo inglés, or ich kann nicht Deutsch, I can't speak German, I can't speak English. It doesn't matter. The people will go get the engineer, the ticket person come and have you move.
That's crazy because the other day I was at I was in Orlando, okay? And we were at a haunted house at Orlando Studios and we were in the express lane. And some people came behind us, and they were European, and they didn't have the express pass, so they weren't supposed to be there. And then they got caught because they check your pass, and they pretended not to speak English, and it was super weird. It did not work. They had to leave.
Just sit in a spot that does not
But yeah, people who do that type of shit, it's like, come on.
have a reserved
What are you
spot,
thinking?
or better yet, spend the $2 or $3 and get a seat reservation for your ticket, okay? Then you know you have a seat to go on. But the unwritten rule is you don't take somebody's reserved seat and then play dumb, okay? Because all you do is look like a jerk. The third unwritten rule of train travel is make sure you only have luggage that you can carry, that you can personally pick up and put in the overhead compartment.
By the way, that had nothing to do with European people. Like, I'm not saying anything about them being European. They just happen to be European. And so they were like talking, and they had been talking in English up until that point. Like they were, anyway. And then all of a sudden, the security comes up and they can't speak English.
Written rule of train travel is make sure you only have luggage that you can carry, that you can personally pick up and put in the overhead compartment, because nobody wants to have to help you lift your 70 pounds of luggage up in the air.
There's an overhead compartment, like a plane?
Because frankly, I've thrown my back out helping people before. So make sure if you're going to be taking trains, the luggage you have, you can carry and you can put up above, because you can't take up 90 spaces, and some places don't have anywhere to put your luggage on the ground, so you have to pick it up. So number 3, don't have too much luggage.
You could just put your luggage on the ground? Interesting. Wouldn't it be sliding all over and shit?
Ground.
Do you have to pay like on a plane? Yeah, I guess they have tickets on them, right? It's just like a plane where you have to pay extra for like extra luggage, I assume.
So you have to pick it up. So number 3, don't have too much luggage. Now, the 4th unwritten rule of train travel is don't bring on stinky food. Now, I know you're hurrying to get the train and it's running behind, so what do? You go grab Burger King or McDonald's or something like that. And the thing is, that kind of food, though it's tasty, I guess, it stinks, and it stinks up the whole compartment. Because if you're
I'm sorry, that's not funny. That's horrible. Well, it is funny. But also, like, McDonald's, honestly, I mean, to an American, McDonald's smells like roses. You gotta understand. I love that smell. But I have to remember, you guys don't like fake processed shitty food over there in Europe. Okay, okay. But also, like, compared to some food, like, I don't know what this girl used to microwave. Some kind of Indian food. No offense to Indian food. Tastes great, but microwavable Indian food, anything you're microwaving, don't bring that shit and do it in enclosed, like, public space.
On the ICE trains,
damn.
the fast trains here in Germany, there's no windows to open up to get the smell of Big Mac out of the train. So that means don't get stinky food. So instead, get a baguette that's not cooked. Not cooked food tends not to stink as bad as cooked food. So just please, for the love of God, no stinky
Unless it's stinky cheese.
food. Now, the 5th unwritten rule of train travel, which sometimes it's hard for Germans to understand, as I found today, is let people
Germans are excellent at following the rules, aren't they?
off the train before you get on the train.
Really? I would have thought that, like, Germans would be the best at that. Like, they'd clothesline you. I didn't mean to do that, by the way. That genuinely wasn't like a joke about Germans. I think I gotta move on now.
I can't tell any times I'm like fighting just to get off the train because people are trying to come on when I'm going off. Look, let the people get off and then you get on, because all you're going to do is kind of like bump into each other and bump into each other and bump into each other and look like a fool. Okay, so let people off, then you get on. And the 6th unwritten rule of train travel.
Share the plug, eh?
Okay, so let people off.
There's only one plug. This is some bullcrap.
Then you get on. And the 6th unwritten rule of train travel is if there's a ticket automat, like a ticket machine, that will always be faster than going to the ticket line. Italy, Germany, Spain, oh my goodness, the lines take forever to go and wait to actually talk to somebody. But the ticket automats, they usually come in English, German, Spanish.
I would have no idea. I would think that's hand sanitizer.
French, Dutch, all kinds of stuff. So you can buy your tickets there.
Don't creep on other people on the train as you're taking a picture of some lady through the chairs. That's funny. But yeah. Don't be a
And
creep.
they'll give you multiple options.
You really shouldn't have to be told this, but some people do, huh? Don't be a creep.
Do you want to go? All this kind of stuff. And it is so easy and so much faster, okay? So those are my kind of 6 unwritten rules about train travel here in Europe. What are some of yours? Please put them in the comment section below so we can have more cool tips for travelers here in Europe.
Those were funny. Those were good. Not taking someone's reserve seat is actually not an unwritten rule. Yeah, that's like written right on this chair. Do you know the definition of reserved? Like, that shouldn't even need to be written anywhere. It's written on the chair. Make sure you're wearing deodorant. Ooh. Some people don't know that here in America. That's a good one. If you're wearing perfume cologne, don't use the whole bottle. These are great tips. So basically, these rules can be reduced down to don't be an ass. Yeah, 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 yeah. A lot of if there weren't stupid assholes in this world, we actually wouldn't need that many rules. It would all just kind of be obvious, huh? Apart from like, which side of the road do you walk on? Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow, or I don't know, this weekend I don't know, next week. I don't know what day I think I'm uploading this tomorrow because I'm going camping tomorrow. Bye.